Hi everybody, welcome to Tech Growth Stocks channel. Today I present you a new video. Specifically, I will give you 5 top internet stocks for March 2021. So these internet stocks have excellent momentum and they have good growth, and over the overall tech space have been coming back heavily over the recent trading weeks. So these stocks offer attractive entry prices. So I think it definitely pays if you watch that video until the end with me and have a look at all of these strong internet stocks. And also one quick note, this is part 2 of the top internet stocks. If you missed part 1, have a look on my channel. In part 1, these stocks have even greater momentum than in part 2. So I think this is a must-watch video as well if you are into internet stocks. So before I start right off with the first top internet stocks, I have to make a short disclaimer. This video does not constitute financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only, so please consider that. And also one more quick note, please subscribe now to my channel with a link in the description below so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me, and also so that you do not miss my upcoming videos, for instance about the top biotech stocks and also the top value stocks, which I will be releasing soon. Okay, so that was it for the intro. So let's start right off with the first top internet stock, and it is SNAP, Snap. Here you can see the long-term chart of Snap, and as you can see, Snap is a quite young company. It had its IPO in February 2017, and why does that matter? Because 95% of the super performance of strong stocks is happening in their first 10 years after their IPOs. So it definitely pays if you get on board of some on with get on board on with young companies after their IPOs or in their first 10 years after their IPOs, and especially when they are in long-term uptrends and have strong growth characteristics. But by point and yeah, one note to the uptrend criteria. Here you can see Snapchat. It did not move up immediately after its IPO. No, first it had a strong downtrend. So it does not. You should not buy these stocks immediately after their IPOs. You should wait until they develop a strong uptrend, and then you should get on board with these strong names because they can correct quite heavily, and that happened with Snap. You can see after its IPO traded around 23 or $24 immediately after its IPO, and it corrected to $5. That was a very strong correction. So definitely wait for an uptrend to develop before you get on board with these young companies. And yeah, with Snap, we had here the downtrend, made the low in December 2018. We reversed from the lows and from the overall uptrend. But here, last year with the Corona breakdown, we had a strong correction as well in Snap, and we made the low in March 2020. But we could reverse from that low and trade to the upside and continue with that overall uptrend here. And in the short-term chart, we see that uptrend, and you can see as well currently we are building a base here at the top, which is a period of pause in that uptrend. And I think soon we could see a continuation of the overall uptrend and a breakout from that base or pausing phase, and we could trade into new high ground with Snap. And when we look at the growth characteristics for Snap, the EPS growth, it's sluggish, it's minus 33%. But the sales growth, it's very good with plus 57%. And the relative strength rating, it's good as well with 92. So I think with these characteristics, Snap is definitely a top internet stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Snap. So now let's have a look at the next top internet stock for March 2021. And it is LE, Land's End. Here you can see the long-term chart of Land's End, And as you can see, I mean, Land's End was an IPO in around March 2014. And after its IPO, it had a nice up leg, nice up move, but then it developed a long-term downtrend, very long-term downtrend, until just recently, where we made the low in March 2020 with that long-term downtrend, very strong downtrend. And we reversed from that March 2020 low, traded to the upside, broke the downtrending moving averages, and we could develop a new uptrend in Land's End. And in the short-term chart, we see that nice uptrend. We see here, for instance, we have bounces of the short-term moving averages here for the 50-day bounce trading to the upside. Here, bounce the 50-day trading to the upside. Here again, a bounce of the 50-day moving average trading to the upside. And now we just came back to the 50-day. I think we could see a bounce here of the 50-day again and a continuation of that overall uptrend, or we could correct a little bit further and maybe we could see a bounce of the 100-day moving average. I think that would be an excellent support line as well. So we will see how it plays out, but still I think the current level is attractive for a position in Land's End. And when we look at the growth characteristics, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish, it's minus 72%, but the sales growth, yeah, it's okay with plus 5%, and the relative strength rating, it's good as well with 89. So I think Land's End is definitely a top internet stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Land's End. So now let's have a look at the next top internet stock for March 2021. And it is ETSY, Etsy. Here you can see the long-term chart of Etsy, and as you can see, and as you can see, I mean, we were here. This I mean, Etsy was an IPO in April 2015. After its IPO, it developed a downtrend, strong downtrend. Yeah, I mean, we traded from, let's say, around the IPO around $28 or even higher, around $32. We traded it down to $6. In Etsy, $7. But we could reverse and form an overall uptrend of that low here in January 2016. Could reverse from it and form a long-term uptrend in Etsy. And quite recently, we had another strong correction in Etsy, and we made the low in March 2020 with that correction, with a Corona breakdown, where we traded around $31, but we could reverse from that low, trade to the upside, had a way strong up leg in Etsy, and now we are trading at $215. I mean, we had a quite strong move here, let's say nearly an eight times move in Etsy from the March lows, from the March last year lows. And you can see with that up leg here, we bounced here, for instance, of the 50-day moving average, the blue line, and here of the 100-day moving average, the green line, and here we had kind of a bounce of the 100 or 150-day moving average, green and orange lines. And yeah, again, recently we had a bounce, just had a bounce of the 100-day moving average. And in the short-term chart, I mean, you see that uptrend here, and we see here as well. Currently, looks like we are building a base, and here we had the bounce of the 100-day moving average. I think soon we could break out, for instance, of that, of these candles here, break out a little bit and continue with the overall uptrend in Etsy. And when we look at the growth characteristics for Etsy, I mean, these are excellent. The EPS growth is very strong with plus 439%. And the sales growth is also way strong with plus 128%. And the relative strength rating, it's good with 89. So I think with these characteristics, Etsy is definitely a top internet stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Etsy. So now let's have a look at the next top internet stock, and it is ROKU, Roku. Here you can see the long-term chart of Roku, and as you can see, I mean, Roku was a recent IPO in September 2017, and after its IPO, it had a short-term breakdown, but then it broke out, traded strongly to the upside, had a strong up move, and then we had kind of a reversal and rallies and reversals, a rally, reversal, but overall we could develop a strong uptrend in Roku, and the recent the last strong correction in Roku was a Corona breakdown where we made the low in March 2020. And yeah, but we could recover quickly from that low and continue with that overall long-term uptrend in Roku. And recently we came back in Roku, just came back to the 100-day moving average, the green line here. And I think soon we can bounce off that green line again and continue with that overall strong uptrend in Roku. And when we look at the growth characteristics, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish, it's negative, it's minus 327%. But the sales growth, it's very good with plus 66%. And the relative strength rating, it's good as well with 88. So I think with these characteristics, Roku is definitely the top internet stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Roku. So now we come to the last top internet stock for today, and it is CRTO, Criteo. Here you can see the long-term chart of Criteo. And as you can see, I mean, Criteo was an IPO in October 2013. And you can see after its IPO, it could not form a clear uptrend and kind of a volatile sideways moving period. And then around October 2017, it broke down and developed a long-term downtrend. And we made that low with that long-term downtrend last year in March. And we reversed from that low, traded to the upside. We broke the downtrend, the downtrending moving averages, I think around October last year. And we could develop a new uptrend, short-term uptrend in Criteo. The short-term chart, I mean, we see that uptrend here the low, then the up move, here period of pause in the up move, base building phase, breakout, nice breakout to the upside. Here another short-term base breakout to the upside, and now you see the third base in that up leg, and I think soon we could break out here, trade to the upside, and continue with that nice new uptrend in Criteo. So I think from an entry point perspective, we are looking great here. And when we look at the growth characteristics, I mean, these are not the best. The EPS growth, it's minus 28%, and the sales growth, it's minus 4%. But the relative strength rating, it's good with 88. So I think Criteo is still a good internet stock for March 2021. Okay, so these were the top internet stocks for March 2021 for today. I hope in that video are some nice internet stocks which you can use for your research. And also, if you missed part 1 of the top internet stocks, please have a look on my channel. This is a must-watch video if you are into internet stocks, because these have even better momentum than in this part. So definitely have a look on my channel. Okay, so thank you for watching that video, and overall I think this year will be an excellent stock trading and investing year with all that fiscal and monetary stimulus going on around the world from all of these central banks and governments. I think this massive liquidity has to flow somewhere, and I think it will end up in the stock market and will end up in an asset price inflation. So I think it definitely pays if you invest your time to select the best stocks for your portfolio. And my channel is exactly about that. So if you need some good stock selections, have a look on my channel. I have many stock ideas, and yeah, so I think it definitely pays if you invest your time with this year. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.